Hey everyone! Welcome back to Fuck Your Old Life. Here, we're all about cutting out what doesn't serve you and stepping into your best life. Today, we're getting real about how to identify and let go of unhealthy relationships, specifically with friends. Whether it's that one friend who drains your energy or a codependent friendship that leaves you feeling trapped, this video is for you. I've got 5 ways to spot a toxic friend and 5 ways to drop them. No drama, just the truth. Let's get into it. Let's start with 5 ways to identify an unhealthy friendship. Number 1, they undermine your confidence. Notice how you feel after hanging out with them. If you walk away second-guessing yourself, that's a major red flag. This type of person thrives on control, and one of their tactics is to make you feel less than, less smart, less capable, less worthy. They may disguise their jabs as little jokes or call it even constructive criticism. But if it's constantly tearing you down, that is toxic. Surround yourself with people who build you up, not ones who enjoy seeing you doubt your greatness. Let's be real. Somebody who constantly makes you doubt yourself is toxic. It can be subtle at first. Maybe they laugh at your dreams or call you too sensitive when you express your feelings, but these people love planting little seeds of doubt, making you feel like you're not good enough. And the worst part is, they often frame it as helping you improve. But if every interaction with this person leaves you questioning your worth, that's not help. That is manipulation. Real friends hype you up, period. Anyone who chips away at your self-esteem is not your friend. They're your anchor and not in a good way. Number 2, you feel drained after every interaction. You know how some people just leave you feeling off? Pay attention to how your energy shifts around certain people. If you feel exhausted, anxious, or just plain bleh after being with them, chances are they're draining your energy. These energy vampires thrive on drama, negativity, and emotional chaos. Healthy relationships feel like a recharge, not like you just ran a marathon. Trust your body. It knows when something's wrong before your mind catches up. Have you ever hung out with someone and afterwards you feel like you need a nap for the rest of the day? That's your energy telling you something is off. It's not normal to feel physically or emotionally wiped out after spending time with someone. This could be the person who always has drama. Like, you know that friend who's always in some sort of catastrophe. They'll rant about their problems for hours, but when it's your turn, suddenly they've got no time or energy for you. The relationship becomes one-sided, with you constantly pouring into them but getting nothing back. That's not friendship. That's emotional vampirism. You deserve relationships that energize you, not ones that drain your emotional battery. Number 3, it's always about them. Ever notice how the conversation always seems to shift back to them? No matter what's going on in your life, somehow it's turned into their personal therapy session. It's always their problems, their wins, their issues, and your role is reduced to being their cheerleader or their problem solver. Healthy relationships are a two-way street. Both people matter. If it's all about them, you're not in a relationship. You're in a one-person show where you're just the supporting cast. We've all been there. You're trying to share something about your life and the conversation just gets hijacked. Suddenly, you're listening to them go on and on about their day, their job, their problems, their relationship. It's like you're a side character in the movie of their life. If you constantly feel like you're in the background, that's a red flag. Healthy friendships are about give and take. But when it's all take and no give, it's time to reassess whether this person values you as much as you deserve. People who genuinely care about you will listen, not just wait for their turn to speak. Number 4, you walk on eggshells around them. Do you feel like you can't be yourself around them? Maybe you're constantly thinking, if I say this, will they get mad? Or if I don't agree with them, will they pull away? That's walking on eggshells, boo. In a healthy relationship, you feel safe to express yourself without fear of emotional blowback. But when you're constantly censoring yourself to keep the peace, you're giving them control over your emotions. And that's a sign you need to reassess the relationship. Do you ever feel like you have to watch every word you say around someone just to avoid setting them off? You're constantly editing yourself to avoid conflict, and it's exhausting. Maybe they've got a quick temper, or they're overly sensitive and take everything personally, whatever the reason. Being in a relationship where you can't be yourself is the exact opposite of healthy. True relationships always allow you to be authentically you, without fear of judgment or backlash. If you can't speak your mind without worrying about their reaction, you're in a toxic dynamic, honey. Number 5, it's time to get out. They disrespect your boundaries. Boundaries are like your personal property lines. A healthy person will respect them. If someone constantly oversteps or tries to guilt trip you when you say no, that's a huge red flag. Maybe they blow up your phone when you need space, or they make you feel bad for not spending time with them every second. Real talk, someone who doesn't respect your boundaries doesn't respect you. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're about protecting your peace, and that's non-negotiable. Boundaries are there to protect us, but toxic people act like our boundaries are just optional suggestions. When someone truly respects you, they'll understand and honor your boundaries, no questions asked. But when they ignore them or make you feel bad for setting your limits, they're showing you they don't care about your well-being. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking your boundaries are too much. They're not, they're essential. Now, let's get into 5 ways to let go of unhealthy friendships. Number 1, get clear on what you want. The first step in letting go of an unhealthy relationship is getting super clear on what you want and what you deserve. Ask yourself, what kind of friends do I want in my life? People who respect me, people who lift me up, who understand my boundaries. Once you get clear on the type of connections you want in your life, it becomes obvious who's got to go. You can't invite positive, supportive people into your life while still holding on to somebody who drains you. Clarity is power, and once you know what you want, you won't settle for less. Once you figure out what it is you actually want, if the relationship in question doesn't align with that, you've got your answer. When you know what you deserve, it becomes a lot easier to let go of what isn't serving you. Number 2, create emotional distance. Emotional detachment is the next step in letting go. This doesn't mean being cold or shutting down. It means pulling your energy back. Letting go doesn't happen overnight. You don't have to ghost them right away, but stop being their go-to for every little thing. Slowly pull back from engaging with their drama or negativity. If they try to unload on you about the same old issues without ever wanting to change, start limiting your responses. Don't be so available for their emotional outbursts or constant chaos. The more space you give yourself, the more you'll realize how freeing it is to not be wrapped up in their mess. Stop being their emotional crutch. Stop feeding into their drama. Start saying no when they try to drag you into their problems. Little by little, when you stop investing your energy into their issues, you'll notice your emotional ties to them start to weaken. Number 3, have the tough conversation. Okay, this is the part no one likes, but it's got to get done. You have to be straight up with them. Tell them how their behavior is affecting you and why the relationship just isn't working anymore. Don't sugarcoat it, but don't be cruel either. It's not about blaming, it's about honesty. If they react poorly, that's on them, not you. Speak your truth and let the chips fall where they may. If they can't handle the truth, that's another reason you're better off without them. It doesn't have to be a blowout fight, but you should be honest and firm. Something like, I've noticed that I don't feel good after our interactions anymore, and I need to create some distance for my own well-being. It might feel awkward, and they may not take it well, but that's more of a reflection of them than it is of you. Your responsibility is to your own peace and growth. Number 4, focus on your growth. Here's where the magic happens. Instead of focusing on what you're losing, focus on what you're gaining. You're freeing up emotional and mental space for your own growth. Imagine how much more energy and creativity you'll have when you're not stuck in a toxic cycle. Channel that energy into leveling up. Work on your goals, your self-care, your passions. Letting go is hard, but it's also an act of self-love. This is the perfect moment to pour your energy into self-improvement. It's like clearing out your closet. When you get rid of the old stuff that no longer fits, you make room for things that align with who you are now. By letting go of toxic relationships, you're making space for better connections that match your current energy. Number 5, cut off communication if needed. Sometimes the only way to fully let go is to cut off communication. This isn't about being petty, it's about protecting your peace. If they keep trying to suck you back in with texts, calls, or social media, block them if you need to. This is your life, your peace, and you have every right to protect it. The time you spend debating whether or not to respond is time you could be using to build the life you actually want. You can't heal from something that's constantly pulling you back into its toxic cycle. Cutting communication is a firm boundary that says, I choose myself. And that's not selfish, it's necessary. And there you have it, y'all. Letting go of unhealthy friendships isn't easy, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental and emotional well-being. You deserve to be surrounded by people who love, support, and lift you up, not those who tear you down. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and let me know, if you're bold enough, who's the one toxic person that you're ready to let go of. And remember, fuck your old life. Better friends are waiting for you in the new one.